Thanks for having me come and present the audit for the city of Gladstone for the year ended June 30th, 2025. We have audited the city and we've also audited the URA. I'll go over those reports briefly, URA briefly, in the city more in depth as we go. So if you have the financial statements in front of you, the first page that we'll start with is page A, which is our independent auditor's report, or if you're looking at a PDF version, it's on page 6. And so the important part there is the discussion of our opinion. And in our opinion, the financial statements present fairly in all material respects. The financial position of the governmental activities, the business type activities, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining funds of the city as of June 30th, 2025. And all the respective changes in financial position and cash flows in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. And the only other thing on here that I want to really point out is our emphasis of matters paragraphs. So we have 2 emphasis of matters paragraphs there. We have one that describes the adoption of GASB statement number 101, compensated absences, in which the city had to made an accounting principle change, and they had to include sick time in compensated absences as well as vacation time. The other was the beginning net position for governmental activities, which was restated to correct carryover construction in progress, I believe it was, on the fixed asset schedule for a library building that some years ago had been abandoned, and just for some reason it was overlooked and not ever taken off of the fixed asset schedule. So those are the important parts in the letter. For note 3, I'd like to jump to that first, just because that's going to describe in detail the changes that were made. And so if you're looking at a PDF, that's page 42, or it is page 21 in the printed copy. And the note 3 just talks about the error correction and the changes in financial reporting. And you can see there the change in accounting principle and the effect that it had on the different funds. Of course, this is GAAP basis, and so your proprietary funds were affected at their fund statement level, and then governmental activities and business type activities at government wide. The error correction only affected governmental activities at government wide, and that also is a GAAP adjustment. With the exception of the addition of sick time and the adoption of GASB 101, there were very little changes to the structure of the financial statements. That was really the only impact that was there. I would also like to talk about your general fund balance. Just like to keep an eye on what does general fund balance look like in comparison to annual general fund expenditures. And the city has about 62% of fund balance, which is a good position to be in. You really want to be 50% or above. That is a comfortable place to be. So in the back of the report, on page 98 in the PDF or on page 69 in the printed copy, we talk, this is our auditor's report to the Secretary of State's office regarding the city's compliance with the OARs and minimum standards. And so there's a list of things there that we do all of our audit procedures over. And the only thing that came to our attention that was non-compliance was just some expenditures in excess of appropriations in a few of the funds. So not a lot there to talk about. In relation to the restatement associated with that fixed asset, that was a big enough one that unfortunately it resulted in a material weakness because it was just the size of it, sheer size of it, right? Mistakes happen. And so then it's just that we recommend that the asset listing be reviewed, which you guys are now paying really close attention to. So that all is good. We have a governance letter to governance as well. I assume that they will be reviewing this recorded session. And it just discusses all of our responsibilities related to the audit, your responsibilities, the accounting practices and policies, and it discusses in depth the adoption of Statement 101. There was also GASB Statement 102, which was certain risk disclosures, which did not affect the city. You adopted it during the year just because it's GASB and you have to. But there was no impact to the financial statements. So there's nothing in the financial statements that discusses that. We also like to include in that letter the important estimates, which for the city, accumulated depreciation, compensated absences, and then the PERS and OPEB liabilities are the big ones. We also had some audit adjustments. Just one. I have to make this big enough for me to be able to see here. Sorry. Just a transfer of library investment funds to the library board. It was just needed to be reclassed. It was a small one, $17,000, so not really material at all. There were a couple of unrecorded misstatements. Those were past adjustments. One was to accrue vehicle registration and ROW telecom payments, I believe, for $31,000. Judy, do you remember talking with Chris about that one? It wasn't material. Neither of these are material, and that's, we're comfortable with the fact that you passed on them and that they don't cause a material misstatement in the financial statements.
Yeah, if it was mentioned, I don't recall it, but I do know that it's not as big as the other material one. So yes.
Right, absolutely. And then there was just that unbilled portion of your AR that happens between the 25th and the end of the month. And then there's the opioid settlement funds, right, which the collectability is, in question. So passed on that is, and that's fine as well. We agree with management's assessment of those, and they're passing on those, and that does not result in a material misstatement. We also included in that letter the emphasis of matter, talked about the adoption and then the error correction. And attached to the governance letter are the details of those adjustments that's in the body of the letter, and then also the management representation letter, which Judy provided to us, that just says that you provided all the information we asked for and access to all the people that we needed to talk to, and that everything was true and nothing to your knowledge regarding lawsuits or anything that needed to be disclosed in the financial statements that were not already disclosed. So I will open it up for comments and questions.
I do not see any raised hands.
We'll let Jackie, give Jackie a minute and see if there's anything.
The only thing that I was concerned about, and I think we have a good handle on it, is the review of the asset listings. And I know Judy's already prepared a letter that I've sent to council for them to review. And I understand a little bit better why that needs to come off of there. What's hard for me to understand is why it wasn't off of there earlier, but we will put some measures into place so that we're reviewing our assets at the end of the fiscal year annually.
It was just, 2 lines on their big report that just got overlooked. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So easy enough to happen, but,
I don't have any additional questions.
Okay.
And Kathy, I think that was a great summary and overview of what we've been through for the last few months. So thank you.
You bet. And I just want to make sure that it's known how well Judy stepped into this role and helped and provided all the information we needed. And, you were great to work with, and we appreciate Susan and other staff as well. So you guys are really good clients to work with. We love people that are responsive and take their job seriously, want to do a good job. So, and we can feel that and see that in what you provide. So
thank you.
Brad, did you want to throw anything in here?
No, nope. You did a good job covering everything that I would have covered.
And seeing that we do not have any members of our audit committee on tonight, we won't be making any recommendations, but having this recorded is very helpful for the public or council to watch prior to going to council. So we appreciate your time.
Perfect. And I assume that you'll send a link for presentation to council when that time comes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sounds great.
And don't need to touch on anything with urban renewal then?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. So urban renewal, you have that report as well.
Mhm.
Our opinion in that report, again, is unmodified. And so everything that was reported there is presented fairly in all material respects in accordance with GAAP. And no emphasis of matter paragraphs related to it because there aren't any payroll costs that reside in the URA. So there's nothing regarding the adoption of 101 there that has to be disclosed. Everything in the URA should be pretty much as you saw it last year from a financial statement structure standpoint. And you are not upside down in your net position. So that's always good because oftentimes the URA is because it has the debt, but it doesn't have any assets to go with the debt, right?
Mhm.
So good position to be in. And let's see what our fund balance is. Your fund balance is way above your expenditures for that fund. So that's in great shape. So lots of development that can be done and good
Yep.
stuff in the community. So.
That's our focus, redevelopment. So,
Yeah. And there was just the same as the city. There was the one over expenditure of appropriations of only $41 for the URA. So not significant. We just have to disclose it. So
good. Okay. Judy, do you have anything else?
I do not.
All right. Well, I guess then we can go ahead and adjourn the meeting.
Meeting is adjourned at 5:13 p.m. Thank you.